We begin tonight with team coverage from the WENY Washington Bureau. It was a historic day in Washington as Pope Francis spoke to Congress. WENY Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro has more from the Capitol.
This is the first time a pope has ever come to the U.S. Capitol. House Speaker John Boehner says he's been trying to get a pope to come here for years, calling this a once-in-a-lifetime moment, a glimpse of grace.
Mr. Speaker, the Pope of the Holy See.
Pope Francis addresses members of Congress inside the House chamber.
Your one responsibility as members of Congress is to enable this country.
House Speaker John Boehner in tears as the Pope talked about climate change, abortion, the death penalty, and immigration.
We must not be taken aback by the numbers, but rather view them as persons, seeing their faces and listening to their stories.
Cheers and smiles from lawmakers and viewers outside the U.S. Capitol, where the Pope's address was broadcast live to the public on jumbotrons. The Pope appeared on the Capitol balcony to bless the thousands of people gathered in the crowd.
Y les pido, por favor, a ustedes,
And I ask you all, please,
que recen por mí.
to pray for me.
Will the Pope's ideas have any real impact on the way members of Congress vote? It's tough to know. Either way, Pope Francis will go down in history as the first ever Pope to address members of Congress. Reporting at the Capitol, I'm Jacqueline Policastro.
And WENY's Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer was inside the Capitol during the Pope's speech. She caught up with our New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand to see what it was like to be inside the audience during this historic address.
Senator Gillibrand tells me there was an enormous energy inside the chamber where Pope Francis spoke, and his words carried a strong message. Gillibrand specifically mentioned his quote, "The yardstick we use for others will be the yardstick which time will use for us," a message she followed even today, saving her only ticket for Sister Margaret, a nun from Long Island who has spent her life helping others. Both Sister Margaret and Pope Francis reminded her of the work she strives to accomplish as a public servant.
We really have to focus on the needs of others, and I thought that was very inspiring, but also very relevant on how we address all these very, very difficult issues.
Speaking directly to the politicians and recognizing the work that they do was a reoccurring theme in Pope Francis's speech, and something Senator Gillibrand says she'll keep with her long after today is through. Reporting on Capitol Hill, I'm Kelly Meyer, WENY News.
And Senator Gillibrand will be continuing on the Pope's visit as she heads to New York City tomorrow, where he'll be meeting with local school students.